The likelihood of a fight with you and Terence Crawford, it would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We don't talking about yet about the fight. Me and Turki know each other.
If it isn't Canelo next year, are you done from the sport, Terence?
I wouldn't say that. Right now I'm just weighing out my options and looking for the best opportunities and options for Terence Crawford in my career.
Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. What is your honest thoughts on that as an opportunity and a potential fight?
Oh, it's always is a chance there, right? We'll see, but always is a chance there, and we're here to make the best deals, and always a chance.
The likelihood of a fight with you and Terence Crawford would be one of the biggest in boxing. We don't talking about yet about the fight we me and then we Turki. Alec has been relentless in his pursuit of bringing Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez into the same ring with a jaw-dropping $95 million offer. It looked like boxing's next big super fight was on the horizon, but Crawford, to the surprise of many, has now declined the deal. If it isn't Canelo next year, are you done from the sports? Turin, I wouldn't say that right now. I'm just waiting on my options and looking for the best opportunities and options for Terence Crawford in my career. Absolutely. The response wasn't what you'd expect from a fighter supposedly hungry for legacy and greatness, leaving the boxing world divided on whether this was a calculated move or a missed opportunity. Said he wants to see Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. What is your honest thoughts on that as an opportunity and a potential you fight? Oh, he always is a chance there, right? We'll see, but always is a chance there, and we're here to make the best deals, and always a chance. Turki hasn't given up hope. He's still determined to make the fight happen, offering to negotiate directly with Canelo and provide what he considers a fair price. But what is fair when one fighter has everything to lose and the other stands to gain a massive payday and undeniable legacy points? Canelo has made it clear in the past that he values his fights highly, especially those that risk his reputation or invite criticism for him. A fight against Crawford offers money which he doesn't lack and little else. Legacy-wise, it's a mismatch. Beating Crawford would bring no real credit. Fans would still be left asking why he wasn't fighting David Benovitz or another legitimate threat at 168 pounds. Or that fight is the same for me. I don't need to take that fight because everybody's going to say it's too small, it's too small, and then he need to enjoy his fight. Okay, Crawford's fixation on Canelo has its logic. Fighting Canelo would bring him the kind of attention, legacy and payday few fighters ever achieve. It's a chance to catapult himself into the history books while cashing in at a level rarely seen in the sport. But this obsession with one name has created a strange dynamic. Turki promised Crawford he could have any fight he wanted, but Crawford isn't interested in anyone else. Fighters like Jiren Boots and Sebastian Fonder or even David Morrell are seen as steps backward for someone of Crawford's caliber. Yeah, cause a lot of people are saying like, hey, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Magoff. Go ahead and give Boots a shot, give Boots the chance. But Eddie saying, hey, I think Crawford saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight or I'm not fighting, I'm done. Why? What do he got to pee? To Boot hating to take over, start beating the guys around him who he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. B don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bo looking to try to make history and get out. Still avoiding these fights might not be the wisest move. Facing someone like Benovitz, for instance, could elevate Crawford's reputation while giving him a safety net. If he loses, he can easily point to Benz's size, youth and raw power as the deciding factors. The same goes for Error BBF or Dimitri Bivol. Taking on one of these dangerous opponents would provide enormous publicity. Even if the outcome wasn't in Crawford's favor, it's not just about winning, it's about showing the world that he's willing to take risks against the best in the business. Has the Canelo fight realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested? Or you still pursuing it? Not at all. I think business talk, yet Crawford doesn't seem interested in risks that don't come with the reward of fighting Canelo. His singular focus has left some fans questioning his intentions. Is he chasing greatness, or is he unwilling to gamble his pristine record against opponents who might not bring the same level of fame and fortune? The criticism grows louder with each passing day. Fighters like Ben Aids and Morrell are calling for big fights, and Crawford's decision to pass on these opportunities doesn't sit well with a fan base eager for action. No look, Kuwait class 75. Is he weight class and he do nothing in 75? Really no, he's not the same, but Canelo meanwhile has his own battles to consider. His potential fight against David Benavidez is the matchup fans are truly clamoring for, and it's one that could bring him the respect he deserves, but even that fight has its complications. Reports suggest Canelo wants an astronomical $200 million for the bout, a figure that makes the $100 million offer for Crawford look like a bargain. If Canelo is holding out for such an enormous payday, it's hard to imagine him stepping into the ring with Crawford for less, especially when the stakes are far lower. Johnny Boy Boxing Fight Height: I just want to ask you, what do you think about Terence Crawford? What do you think about Terence Crawford's performance, and do you want to get a fight with him? If the money is right, I mean $100 million. I heard Turki offered you a big money already. The dynamics of this situation are messy to say the least. Turki's attempt to broker a deal has added another layer of complexity. While his enthusiasm is admirable, it's clear that he might be underestimating what it takes to bring Canelo to the table. The promise of a fair price might sound reasonable, but Canelo's track record suggests he's not one to settle for less than he believes he's worth, and why should he at this stage in his career? Canelo has nothing to prove. His legacy is secure and his financial future is set. Start doing that. Where do things stand with Turki? Turki said he would like to open a line of communication with you, no middleman, say you and him. I never say no to business, so if it is a business for me, I'm open to talk no matter what. For Crawford the situation is different. He's in a position where one wrong move could tarnish his legacy, but a big win could elevate him to the pantheon of all-time greats. That's why his reluctance to face anyone other than Canelo is so puzzling. A fight against Benavidez or Bivol wouldn't just be a good fight, it could arguably be better then fighting Canelo. Losing to a much larger opponent would come with built-in excuses, and the publicity would still be massive. Fans would respect the courage it takes to step into the ring with a bigger, stronger foe, even if the result didn't go his way very effortlessly. He's a tough guy to deal with, and 12 rounds is a long time, but Crawford has a very deep bag of tricks. He's got great, very high boxing IQ. We always watch him early on. He's collecting data on his opponent. Imanol was a tough that to crack. It took him a lot of rounds to figure it out, but 9, 10, 11, 12 he started really pushing that pace, was able to get his hands off, get those, but instead of exploring these options, Crawford has chosen to stay fixated on Canelo. His decision to turn down Turki's $100 million offer sends a mixed message. On one hand, it suggests that Crawford is serious about not appearing desperate for the fight. On the other, it raises questions about whether he's truly interested in taking on the best challenges available for Turki. The road ahead is uncertain. He's made it clear that he's willing to go the extra mile to make this fight happen, but his optimism might not be enough. The harsh reality is that Canelo holds all the cards, and he knows it. If Turki wants to make this fight a reality, he'll have to offer something truly extraordinary, something that goes beyond just a big paycheck. As for Crawford, his options are shrinking. The longer he waits, the more the boxing world moves on. I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just like to fight fighters like Benavidez, Morrell, and even BBV are making waves, and each missed opportunity chips away at Crawford's relevance. He might not see these fights as appealing now, but in the grand scheme of things they could be the stepping stones he needs to secure the legacy he craves. Even with all this, Crawford still decided to fight Madoff, a fight that to Canelo didn't exactly show Crawford as a worthy opponent. Despite Crawford securing a unanimous decision victory, Canelo openly suggested that Madoff deserved a better outcome. Speaking to Fight Hype, the Mexican superstar made his stance clear. I think he knows why there's weight classes there. Right, he had a good fight, but for me, I think he lost the fight or draw. It could have been the other side. They talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost, so let's not do that. Canelo, those words carry weight. Canelo isn't just a spectator in Crawford's career, he's the man many expect to stand across the ring from him should Crawford make the full leap to super middleweight. For Canelo to criticize Crawford's debut at super welterweight as anything less than stellar undercuts any momentum Crawford hoped to build toward that potential fight. From Crawford's perspective, his debut in a higher weight class was supposed to be a statement. Israel Madoff, with only 11 professional fights, might not have had the deepest resume, but his amateur pedigree and awkward style presented a legitimate challenge. Crawford delivered flashes of his usual brilliance, but Madoff found success as well enough to make the fight competitive. The others say no, that's 2 more weight classes like once. he gets touched.